Okay then, let's get to installing Pi-hole. First thing is, I'm using Proxmox. That's just on my little home server. What that does is that's going to let me run a virtual machine, and that's where I'm going to run Pi-hole. It's up to you where you want to run it. Raspberry Pis, as the name suggests, was where it originated. For me, it just makes sense to keep all my home server stuff together. So first thing I want to do is I want to be able to download an operating system. So I am going to use Ubuntu. So I've got no ISO images on here at the moment. So first thing I'm going to do is download from URL, paste in the URL of the image I'm after, which is the most recent version of Ubuntu's server, and then we're going to download that. Okay, fantastic. That's downloaded now. We've got the Ubuntu image. That's going to let us install a virtual machine. So the next thing I'm going to do is create a VM. It's going to be created on this node. That's going to be the VM ID. I'm going to call this Pi-hole. Its operating system is going to be from the Ubuntu image that we just downloaded. New version of Linux kernel. Graphics card it don't need any of that. Disks, right, we do need to create a disk. How big of a disk do we actually need for Pi-hole? Let me see if I can check the documentation. I think around 8 gig should be plenty. CPU, yeah, we'll stick that to a single core, it should be absolutely fine. And memory, I think we'll do 512 gig. 512 meg, it doesn't need 512 gig. Yeah, we'll keep the network all default. There we go. Give that 1 second, and now we've got the new virtual machine created. So this is just starting up. Or I should say it's not started up, but we're gonna get it to start up. First thing I'm gonna do though is check it is gonna start up on boot. Start on boot, no. Right, so we'll edit that. Start on boot, yes. Because we want this to come up as soon as the home server starts, if ever there's a power outage or anything like that. Right, let's start this up. And we'll check the console. So we would like to install Ubuntu server. Now this won't be the fastest. We only give the VM 512 gig of RAM and a single core. And what is just a small home server, not very powerful, so it might take a little bit of time, but no rush. I'll speed it up for you. Oh, and there we go. It's managed to crash. Let's reboot and try again. Right, so set the language in the keyboard to English UK. Next thing, it says what kind of server do we want. I want a minimal server just because we've only got a little bit of disk space. We don't need all the extra tools. We're going to go with an automatic IP address for now. I'll fix that later. The system requires an internet connection. I don't have a proxy. Mirror location has been tested. And it looks like it can get to that mirror, which is nice. So we'll say done. This says, where do we want to install it? So we've got our 8 gig disk that we assigned to the VM, so we're going to install it on that. We'll leave it as LVM. That's absolutely fine. This is going to create partitions for us. So this is asking how we want the disk laid out. It's suggesting 1.7 gig of boot partition and 6 gig of root. That's fine. For what we're doing, we can just leave all this as default. Confirm destructive action. Right, okay, so this is because that step where it was messing with the disk and the partitions, it's going to clean whatever's on this disk. Now, we know there's nothing on it. It's brand new VM, newly allocated storage, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, what we got? Name, server's name, pick a username. My name is Tom. So I'm just flicking between virtual consoles at the moment, see if I can get anything back. but it doesn't seem like we can. Interesting. So this is where it crashed before, and I'm 100% not sure why this is crashing again, but I suspect that is crashing. Right, okay. So apparently 512 meg of memory is enough for Pi-hole. However, the Ubuntu installer needs more than that. That's not a problem. We'll just we'll give the VM a gig and start again. I see the out of memory killed process. I'm pretty sure that's what's causing the issue here. So we can solve that. So we'll shut down. Yes. Okay, now we're back to here. It's going to be called Pi-hole. Username can be Tom. You guys don't need to worry about that. That says we're not going to use Ubuntu Pro. We don't want an SSH server. I'll enable it. Right, this is asking us what we want installing, if anything. I don't believe we're going to want any of these. No. Alright, we'll just let this install. Okay, installation complete. Let's reboot. Enter. And we'll see what happens. Okay, we're gonna log into the server. Right, let's do that. Right, now that I'm logged in, first thing I'm going to do is make sure we've got curl. Curl, yes, we've got it. Great. What we need to do, and I know this is slightly controversial, but it'll work fine, and I'm not too worried about running this on a VM. I do semi-trust Pi-hole. We're going to do curl dash lowercase l uppercase lowercase s uppercase s, and then an L for HTTPS / install.pi-hole.net, and then pipe that to bash. What this will do is that will download a script from the internet and run it. Hence why it's a little controversial doing it, but it is fairly standard how people install stuff, so we'll just do it. It does want to be root because it wants to modify the system. And we'll just let this install. Unsupported OS detected. I think this should still be alright. So what it says to do is to do sudo, but then we're gonna set Pi-hole skip OS check to true. So that is an environment variable which will be passed through to this process equals true. Installer will transform your device into a network-wide ad blocker. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Pi-hole is free but powered by donations. I will use this for a week if I like it and I plan to keep it around. I will absolutely donate. I'm a big believer in supporting open source projects. Obviously, you don't have to, but if you want these kind of things to continue, we should do that. Needs a static IP. It doesn't have a static IP, but I've got a plan for that, so it's not a problem. Set static IP using current values. Yes, that's fine actually. It's possible you're still trying to sign IP to this device which conflict. Yeah, that's fine. Upstream DNS provider. We are going to use Cloudflare, I think. Pi-hole relies on third-party lists. Yeah. Do you want to install the web interface? Yes. Web server is required. Do you want to install? Yes. Would you like to enable query logging? No. I don't think I need to record everything. I'll keep that enabled for now. Might change that in a bit. Okay. So should now be able to go to. Oh, it's because it's defaulted to HTTPS. There we go. I've got my admin password, which we can remember. And there we go. We've got Pi-hole running at least. Next thing I'm going to do is set up my network in such a way that devices start getting this. So ignore my Unity screen. I use a Unity network setup, but in my settings I can go to my networks. I can go to my main network that I want to use this on. Oh, DNS server auto. 8.1.104, and then we'll fall back to 1.1.1.1, which I think is Cloudflare's DNS. And now if we go to, I don't know, random website. No, in fact, I need to renew the lease on my computer, don't I? So let's do that. So I think if we do IP config / renew, is it? Well, let's test it. Let's go to what's a site that's full of adverts? Google.com. Certainly looks a little cleaner. What happens if we go to real world testing? Visit CNN.com. Someone recommends. Oh, well, I guess the obvious way to do it is to have a look at the network tab and see if any of these have been blocked. Certainly don't see loads of adverts. That makes me think we are working. Well, alright. Obviously, let's just do that. Not that. That is the password I don't want you to see. Let's just try this that is meant to be blocked. Which is impossible to click. Oh my god. s.cdn.turner.com. s.cdn.turner.com. Looks like it probably worked, didn't it? Right, I'm just going to manually set the IP address for now. Oh, in fact, DNS servers. Oh no, it's there, look. That is right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That means we are working. Fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to use this for a week. I'll probably tack something on the video just to see how I'm getting on. But right now, that's all. Thanks for watching.